Welcome to A Healthy Curiosity, the podcast that explores what it takes to be well in a busy world with self-care strategies from Chinese medicine. I'm your host, Brodie Welch, here to support you on your journey of health, happiness, and personal evolution. I was so prepared. Ever since I've launched A Healthy Curiosity back in July, I've had a couple of extra interviews in the pipeline ready to go, just in case I needed them. But then something happened, and Skype turned on me. It was really like a betrayal. A couple of really great interviews sounded totally fine when I was recording, but turned out when I went back to edit to be plagued with these bizarre video game-like beeps and zaps. And so today, I find myself all alone without a guest, and I'll admit to having to overcome some shame around showing up all by myself. Which is weird because I love teaching. If you've ever taken my classes or been on a retreat with me, you know that I can talk forever about all kinds of things that I'm passionate about. But it's just so much easier when there's a dialogue, a collaboration. So I would love for you to start dialoguing with me. If you have a question that you'd love to have an answer to on the show, I would be happy to give you my take on it. Chinese medicine, the body-mind connection, herbs, food energetics, essential oils, functional medicine, meditation, qigong, yoga are all some things that I know something about and would do my best to answer for you. And if it's not something that I can answer, I'd be happy to seek out an expert who can. So if you have a question or a topic, I would love for you to email it to me at Brodie@BrodieWelch.com. That's Brodie with an I-E and Welch with a C-H. But today, since I don't have any questions to answer, I'm going to guess that the holidays might be on your mind, just based on the time of year. Hanukkah, solstice, Christmas, Kwanzaa, New Year's, probably some others that I'm not quite as familiar with are all coming up. And so I thought today I would offer you 8 tips to help you feel great this holiday season. So, the first few tips all have to do with food, just because food is a huge part of how we tend to celebrate. So my first tip would be, if you are planning a big holiday meal, to eat it in the middle of the day. And the reason for that is that in the middle of the day is when our digestive fire is the hottest, and therefore we're going to be able to digest it the best. Plus you then have the whole rest of the day to use those calories. Tip number 2 is use fresh ginger and black pepper to boost your digestive capacity. A lot of people don't know this, but issues like acid reflux, gas, bloating, other digestive issues, loose stool, often have to do with not having as much stomach acid as we need, which may seem kind of counterintuitive. If you're dealing with acid reflux, isn't that too much acid? Well, not really. It's acid in the wrong place. And a lot of times we get acid, the upper sphincter of the stomach kind of blows, and we get acid in our esophagus, and kind of where it shouldn't be. But we actually need that acid in the stomach itself in order to break down proteins. And so it's the kind of thing where if we don't have that capacity, then when we eat something dense and heavy like animal protein or wheat or dairy or eggs, we may struggle with breaking those down. And that creates kind of a fermentation in the stomach, which creates gases, and then that again blows the lower esophageal sphincter wide open, and you end up with acid reflux. Or if things move down the line into your intestines without having been broken down as you need them to be, and so you can get issues in the small and large intestine. So fresh ginger and black pepper are 2 spices that you can use pretty easily as a way of just enhancing your body's capacity to digest, to break things down from larger to smaller. Number 3, when you are not feasting and celebrating, make your meals super simple. So that means warm, cooked, easy to digest one-pot meals like soups and stews and kitchari. Kitchari is this Ayurvedic one-pot meal that involves basically mung dal, basmati rice, and spices. And you can go to my website and we'll put it in the show notes, a link to a kitchari recipe. Because it's just, you'll feel so much better if after eating all this complicated, heavy stuff that you're not necessarily used to just keep it really simple so that your digestive system can get back on track. Number 4, if you struggle with sleep, like I do, consider skipping the sugar and alcohol, especially if you're eating late. One of the reasons that you might find yourself awake at 2 a.m. feeling either hot or just awake and like you can't get back to sleep very well is that the liver is detoxifying from sugar and alcohol. And this is the time in Chinese medicine when the liver cleans the blood. So I'm not saying don't eat these things. But I am suggesting that you consider not only how you'll feel in the moment when you eat them, but how you might feel in the middle of the night. I know for me, the difference between feeling like I have a life that I love and appreciate versus just sort of slogging through my day is how much sleep I've gotten the night before. So just know that and make your decisions accordingly. Number 5, if you are dealing with bloating, make yourself a pot of cumin, coriander, and fennel tea. And that's as easy as going to the bulk section of your co-op or natural food store and getting equal parts of each of those seeds, using about a half a teaspoon each of them, steeped in hot water with a cover on it so that you don't lose the volatile oils. Steep that for 5 to 10 minutes and then drink it, and awesome for helping your gut to feel better. Number 6, a lot of times this time of year we are spending time with family or traveling. And if you've got a house full of people, or if you are in a new place, it can be really tempting to ditch your meditation practice or your exercise practice, or to bend your boundaries around getting out in nature because you feel like pressure to spend time in this new place or with the people that you care about. And I'm encouraging you, don't do it. These practices keep you sane, and being around family of origin can be really especially triggering. So this tends to be when you need these practices more than ever. So it will also help you to be more present and able to connect with the people that you're celebrating with if you take time for yourself and either get present in a seated meditation capacity or do your qigong or your yoga or just go for a walk by yourself. It can really help you come back renewed and ready to really love up the people in your life. Number 7 is pre-decide how you're going to take care of yourself, right? It's really easy to go back and forth. Okay, like, am I going to meditate today? When am I going to do this practice? When am I going to get out? That's a lot of wasted energy. So I suggest you decide that this is what you're going to do, no matter how tempting it is to want to do something else. And number 8 is to take a breathing break. Breathing is my absolute favorite way to help you downshift your nervous system out of a place of stress and tension and irritability and tightness into one of more ease and slowness and spaciousness. There is something that we can all do for free, anytime, anywhere, that can accomplish this remarkable feat, and that is breathing. The state of the breath reflects the state of the nervous system. When we are in a fight, flight, freeze mode or emergency mode, the breath becomes shorter, more shallow, more rapid, and more up into the chest. And that's where our energy goes. It rises up. And left unchecked, if we keep breathing in this shallow, rapid way, kind of by habit, we keep ourselves pumping out the stress hormones because on some level the body thinks that it's still needing to fight or flee or freeze. So we can help downshift the nervous system out of this tense state and back to relaxation by simply working with the breath. And so the way to do that, first of all, is to notice what's going on with the breath. Second, to bring the awareness down into the low abdomen, this place that we call in Chinese medicine and in martial arts the lower dantian, which is a region that is either 2 fingers below the navel or 1 hand below the navel, depending on the tradition you come from, and tuning into that space that's halfway between the spine and the front of the body. And as you inhale, the belly expands outward, and as you exhale, the belly moves towards the spine. You can put your hands on your abdomen to get a better sense of what's going on there. Allowing the breath to become a little bit longer, a little bit slower. Allowing the inhalation and the exhalation to become even. And allowing this to all happen with gentleness and with ease. The nervous system will follow suit. It too will become more easeful, and we will feel less tense and more relaxed. Now, if you are habitually used to breathing really shallowly and used to going through life feeling stressed, it can take a little while to repattern your breath so that it feels natural to breathe deeply and evenly and slowly, but it will happen over time. I suggest, if you're trying to train your nervous system to do this, to set a gentle timer at least 3 times a day that reminds you to take a little breathing break where you stop and tune into your breath, sink it to lower dantian, into that low abdomen, and focus on making your inhalations and exhalations the same length and as gentle as possible. If you'd like me to guide you through it, simply head over to brodiewelch.com/breathing-break and grab your free breathing meditation audio recording there. Practicing just a few minutes, a few times a day, can be enough to really make a difference in how you end up feeling in your daily life. So thanks for listening today to my solo show. And from my heart, I wish you a joyful, peaceful, and healthy holiday. Stay curious. Thanks for listening today. For more episodes of A Healthy Curiosity, you can visit the iTunes store. If you appreciated today's show, please leave us a review. This helps other people to find the podcast. You could also head to brodiewelch.com, where you can find free self-care resources, learn more about Chinese medicine, and let me know what you'd like to hear about on future episodes. I'd love to hear from you. Till next time, be good to yourself.